All right, let's switch gears and talk about a domestic issue, maybe the most vexing domestic issue for a lot of people, and that's immigration and illegal immigration. You actually have talked about your own background, and you write on your website, America's a nation of immigrants. Fixing our immigration system will provide the same opportunities to future generations. You note that your maternal grandparents experienced these opportunities after immigrating from Italy. Here's what you wrote. Recently, the House voted on legislation related to funding for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, that's DACA. While I do not agree with the president going around Congress to implement any form of deferred action, I could not in good conscience vote to close the door on the young individuals who were provided the opportunity to make a life for themselves, the only country they've ever known. In my view, the president certainly exceeded his executive authority when he established the DACA program, but the program has already accepted individuals and made promises to them. Congress must continue to take action to rein in this administration and prevent unilateral expansion of DACA, but we should not break promises made to those already in the program. I have a serious question for you on all of the immigration issues that are related to this. You seem like you've changed. I mean, at one time, Joe Heck was for SB 1070 in Arizona. You were against voting for the executive order on DACA before you were for it. You seem to have, you say you're for a path for citizenship, but you're against the bill that was before the Senate. You used to talk about anchor babies. You don't talk about those anymore. Is this an evolution in your thinking? Is it a realization, the Hispanic populace of Nevada is growing? I mean, it does seem like you have not had a consistent position on all this.
Well, I would disagree. I think that I would think that the position that I've had on immigration has always been that we need to address every aspect of the broken immigration system that we currently have, and it is broken. We have laws that aren't enforced. We probably have new laws that we need to put into place, and that we should create an immigration system that works for America and that provides opportunity for those who want to come here and make a better life for themselves in the greatest country on earth. That's what my maternal grandparents did. Came here, made a better life for themselves, raised 5 kids. Ultimately, I am their grandchild, and look at the opportunities I've had to become a physician, be a brigadier general, serve in Congress, and now run for the U.S. Senate. That doesn't happen anywhere else in the world.
Be a guest on Ralston Live. I think you left that out.
And so when you look at what are the steps that we need to fix the broken immigration system, and I've been consistent in my views that, yes, we need increased security. Right? You've got to make sure that you secure borders north-south, ports of entry, better interior security for those that come on visas and then overstay. You need to address a viable guest worker program, not just for unskilled labor, but for high-tech labor as well. You need to address the dreamer issue, which I've always been in support of, in saying that a child that's brought here through no fault of their own, and this is the only country that they know, should have the opportunity to become a citizen of this country.
Why did you flip on the executive? If it's such an important thing, and a lot of people think it is, and there are legal arguments. Our Attorney General has joined a lawsuit, as you know, on whether the executive authority, but you flipped on it for purely political reasons.
No, John, the first vote was the implementation of DACA, right? And I did not agree with executive action to implement DACA. The second vote was the repeal of DACA, and that's when I said, look, although I opposed it, it was signed and it went into effect. And we have many people right here in Nevada that are now in that program. So how can you now in good conscience say, you've come out from the shadows, you've given us all your information, we've given you the opportunity to have deferred action, and now we're not going to allow you to complete the program?
I could fill in the blanks with what you just said with the Affordable Care Act. I was against it, but now look at all these Nevadans who've been helped by it. How could we repeal these benefits to these Nevadans? Well, it's the same thing. You did change your position.
Well, no, there were 2 very different votes, John. One is on implementation, which I was against, and one was after the program had been implemented.
But you thought the president exceeded his authority.
He did. I believe he did. I mean, you can't grant deferred action to an entire class of individual. The idea of deferred action, as it's written into immigration law, is meant for individual cases of extreme hardship, not to say you have an entire class of individual and we're going to give deferred action to an entire group. So, I believe that those 2 votes were on 2 very different topics.